This is Paul Acevedo of Windows Phone Central, here with a video review of Galactic Rain for Windows Phone. It's an Xbox Live game from Slant 6 Games and Microsoft Studios. Galactic Rain is a strategy title. It's got a little how to play video you can watch.
Head-to-head game of tactical expansion and conquest. You and your opponent.
I actually would prefer an interactive tutorial as the video moves a little too quickly to be much use, but that's alright. Now, this is a multiplayer focused game, so part of what you can do is select your home and away colors and a few different decals to represent you. The decals are kind of unnecessary because the other party sees your gamer picture anyway. Let's see. There is not much of a single-player component. The entire single-player mode consists of this Battle Academy mode. Basically, these are little battle situations in which you compose a fleet and then watch what happens. It does have good friends leaderboard integration right here, as you can see. So here's my goal. This is what the enemy has on them. Now I have to compose a fleet that can handle that and take them down. You don't actually control your stuff during the fight. You just set it up and then see what happens. So you can choose from a variety of different ships. These are just different things that one of the particular races has available to it. There's 3 different races. I'm not going to give this a serious effort, but these are the weapons that I can equip for it, and then these are modifiers. Let's see, get a little extra life, and better accuracy. Okay, done. So now I've created this blueprint, and now I can build as many as I want of it, or I can create a new blueprint. Let's just build some and see what happens. 2 of these guys. Done. Battle. Alright. That didn't work out so well. So let's go back to one that I've actually won. Now, one interesting thing about this game is that you can have it set to create videos that represent the battles in the cloud, and then you can stream them and watch them on your device. So here we have one of those videos. During the video, you can choose to scan things, and this just kind of identifies what is what during the fight. Looks like the frame rate takes a little hit, at least on Windows Phone. So it's kind of cool, it's like watching a full motion video from an older game, I guess. Problem is, it takes several minutes to actually create one of these videos, so you're left waiting for that to happen, or you have to move on and do something else while you wait for it to be ready. So most players are just going to want to turn off battle videos in the options, and then you don't have to worry about it. You just get your results instantly. That's much better. There's a lot of these scenarios to go through. I personally do not find them very fun at all. It is a waste of a single player mode to me. Multiplayer, however, is where it's at. You can have many different games going. When you create a game, you can invite your Xbox friends, just somebody based on their email address, or do a quick match. That's a good feature. Now let's hop into a multiplayer game. In this game, I'm the green side, the enemies are the red side, and this is the fog of war. We can't see that because we're not close enough to it. Now, a battle has taken place. If I had videos on, I could download a video very slowly for that, but I have it off, so I'm just going to see the results. Okay, yeah. My side didn't do so well in this. I can see what he had left over. He had a much stronger thing there, so that wiped them out. What about over here? Alright, on this side they fared much better. So the goal here is, I mean, there's several different things you're doing. The map is just made up of all these interconnected planets. You're trying to colonize planets, which gets you resources each turn as long as they belong to you. So the planets with the green circle we have already colonized. Down here, this enemy is attacking my colony, and so if I don't stop him on this turn, I will lose the colony, so I'm unfortunately going to lose that colony. And these with the gray circles have not been colonized. The larger planets, they give you victory points every turn that you own them, and the first person to reach 25 victory points wins. You can also just choose to give up with the surrender button. There's a few different things you can do. You can create new blueprints like what we saw in the single player game. You can research new ships. That's kind of what I should have been doing more in this particular game, although I did just research one. Each one of these costs a certain amount of resources to research, and you only have so much per turn, so you have to balance that with your need to create ships and build a good defense or offense. So right here, I'm right next to this guy. If I wanted to attack him the next turn, I could just go ahead and build a bunch of ships. Now I can build that kind of ship. Say I want to spend that much, and then whatever resources I have left, I can spend on cheaper ships just to fill out my army, however I want to do it. Then, once I'm done with the turn, I just slide this to the right, that submits it. Now we hop on over to the Windows 8 version of Galactic Crane. It's basically the exact same game, but with a higher resolution. Unfortunately, neither the phone game nor the computer version has actual volume controls, which is just a real sticking point for me. You can turn off music or sound effects, but you can't just turn them down a little bit and still hear them. You have to independently adjust that. So, as you can see, one cool thing is your progress is completely shared across the cloud between both versions. So most of these I did in the computer game and they were unlocked in the other version, and then I did some in the other version and the progress extended over to here. Your leaderboard progress, including multiplayer wins and your star count, shared between both versions. That's very good. And here are those 3 active multiplayer games I've got going. So, I would say the experience of playing Galactic Crane across both platforms is really similar, and it works a little bit better than Skulls of the Shogun. Skulls of the Shogun, the actual touchscreen controls aren't that great in my opinion, but in this they work great both with touch and mouse because it wasn't originally designed around a controller. So I've had a rough time of things here. How about down here? Won that battle. Lost that one, but that's no surprise. You can zoom in or out. So when you're ready to move your units around, you have up to 4 units at a time. Right now I'm down to only 2 because I've lost 2. I can place those new units on any colony that I own. And my existing units, see, they can only move 1 space per turn, so you have to think ahead a little bit. Galactic Crane, it might seem a little complicated, but I found it fairly easy to learn. I really love playing against other players. Now here's the problem with this game on either platform is that, like I said, there's no proper single player component because the strategy in the taking over the map, that's the fun part of the game, and unfortunately you can't do that if you don't have other people to play against. Most of these opponents, I'm waiting for them to make their first move, or maybe they'll take a day or 2 to actually make a move if they've actually started playing. So that's kind of a problem when you just want to sit down and play this game for an hour, maybe. You can't do it unless you have somebody else who's just actively playing right then. And if you don't, then you're just stuck waiting on them all the time. So a lot of the time I feel like playing it, I'm not able to. This is a $5 game. If you buy it on one version, you get to play it completely on the other version, so that is really neat. However, you can only earn achievements if you buy both versions. But if you don't really care about the achievements and you just want to keep your game going, at least you have that option. So I just wish the price was a little lower, because this game needs more of a multiplayer community in order to be fully worth what they're charging, and in my experience, the community isn't quite active enough. Thanks for watching. Read the full review at wpcentral.com.